Hello, I am Dr. Vinita, MPT Ortho, and today we start our topic bicipital tendinitis. In bicipital tendinitis, first you have to learn about the biceps anatomy. Here you see the picture in which there is two head of biceps muscle, okay, long head and short head. Next, what is the condition of bicipital tendinitis? The tendon of the long head of biceps can become inflamed in the bicipital groove of the humerus. This does not necessarily relate to the use of biceps muscle, as the bony groove obviously moves every time and the arm does, and it is this movement of bone against the tendon that can produce pain, inflammation. Okay, the usual cause is repetitive, unaccustomed, and life like lifting the symptoms are often recurrent symptoms. Okay, in bicipital tendinitis, the onset of pain in 30 to 50 year of age, and the onset is gradual, and symptoms are following to the overuse of the muscle, and the duration normally patient will have been suffering the condition several weeks, even months, and seeking treatment. Performance is affected and the patient is seen relatively same pain in the earlier episodes also. The frequency is condition often chronic, and the patient will complain previous episode of the same type symptoms over a period of month, year, usually worsening the time. Okay, area of symptoms. The area of onset, area of symptom usually well localized for bicipital tendinitis, and the type of symptoms patient mainly complain is of pain that is sharp in nature, occurs on movement of the arm, like when you are doing flexion, extensions, or active movements, passive movements. A general ache may be felt following arm for any prolonged period. Like if you are using your arm for a long period of time, your patient feels pain. Then observation. In observation part, we see the appearance of the shoulder, usually unremarkable. Early days very acute episode, there can be mild swelling, increased temperature of that area of bicipital groove. In active movement, lateral rotation of the shoulder is painful, and the movement is tested with the arm is 90-degree abduction. Pain may also experience on active flexion of the shoulder from the extended position. Ask the patient to start with the extension to the flexion position. Patient feel pain. Passive movements. Pain will occur in passive extension of the shoulder. When it combined with extension of the elbow and pronation of the forearm, then passive lateral rotation of the shoulder. Like in both the cases, shoulder joint should be in 90-degree abduction. Resisted movement, pain can be reproduced by isometric flexion of the elbow, supination of the forearm when tested with both the shoulder and elbow joint extended. How do you palpate the shoulder joint? Patient come to you, you will palpate for the tenderness, and in this case tenderness is elicited and the most easily detected by placing a finger over the groove, bicipital groove, while passively laterally rotating the shoulder in about 80 degree of abduction. What you have to do, you have to do the specific test like Yergason test and the anterior of the shoulder, isometric registration of the supination of the forearm, and then we start with the bicipital tendon, the important rehabilitation points. Okay, in this what you will see, like with the diagram I show you that in this that diagram showing you the how muscle is going and where patient feel pain. Same like bicipital tendinitis or bicep tendinitis. Same, it is the inflammatory process. Okay, and disorder of the bicep tendon can result from the impingement or as an isolated inflammatory injury. Other causes are secondary to compensation for rotator cuff disorder, labral tear, or intra-articular pathologies. Functional anatomy. It is the very important part, and I write some notes about this. May be helpful for MPT and BPT both students. As its name implies, the biceps has two proximal hand with a common distal incision. You all know this thing. The long head of biceps merge with the short head of biceps to form the body of biceps brachii muscle. This muscle is powerful supinator and flexor of the forearm. The long hand biceps tendon lies in the bicipital groove of humerus. Here you see in the picture. Okay, between greater and lesser tuberosity, angle 90 degree inward at upper end of groove, crossing the humeral head to insert at the upper edge of glenoid labrum, supraglenoid tubercle. The long head of biceps tendon help to stabilize the humeral head, especially during abduction and external rotation. Then in acute phase, like we proceed to the rehabilitation program of physical therapy. In acute phase, in the recovery phase, and last is the maintenance phase. Before that, we have to mind on the important rehabilitation points. What are the important rehabilitation points? The long head of the biceps function as a secondary humeral head, depressors and stabilizers. In many overhead sports activity or overhead any other activity, biceps aids acceleration and deceleration of the arm. Bicipital problems in athletes usually occur in conjunction with other shoulder disorders like in rotator cuff pathology, joint instability. For this reason, thorough evaluation shoulder should be done if a bicep disorder is found. As the long head of the biceps tendon courses from its attachment to the superior glenoid labrum, it exists as the GH joint and proceed through the rotator cuff interval beneath the coracohumeral ligament. It then enter the bicipital groove where it is restrained by transverse humeral ligament. We further proceed to our treatment part. In acute phase, the rehabilitation program according to physiotherapy, the initial goals of our treatment in acute phase of treatment, the reduce inflammation and swelling. Patient should restrict over the shoulder movement, reaching and lifting. Here what we can do, we should apply ice to the affected area 10 to 15 minutes 2 to 3 times per day for the first 48 hours. Like in NSAIDs and all ibuprofen and all these treatment, and we can use the TANs as like some authors recommend daily weighted pendulum stretch exercise for uncomplicated and mild case of acute bicipital tendinitis. Use of TANs been reported with some success. One article I found that which explained this treatment, and one article I found which is explaining that phonophoresis and iontophoresis are example method used to deliver the steroids. Okay, physiotherapists use the phonophoresis uses of ultrasound and iontophoresis. In this, phonophoresis uses ultrasound, whereas iontophoresis uses electrical repulsion to transport medicine through the skin in order to deliver an effective steroid concentration. The target area should be superficial, and the serial application is necessary. In this recovery phase, what are our rehabilitation program in physical therapy? Rehabilitation are directed toward restoring the integrity and strength of the dynamic and static stabilizers of the shoulder joint, and while restoring the affected shoulder range of motion, which is critical for most athletes or most of the patients, the goal of the recovery phase is to achieve and maintain full and painful range of motion. If there is pain, you are giving treatment. If patient feel pain during any type of movement, you should recheck your rehabilitation program, or you should teach the patient properly, and always when you are prescribing some exercise to the patient, always teach to the patient and always teach the contraindications of that exercise. Okay, like weighted pendulum stretch exercise are combined with isometric toning. These exercises are recommended 3 times per week throughout the recovery phase. One article on this I searched that when you are doing the weighted or pendulum stretch exercise, combining with the isometric toning exercise, it is very beneficial, and the study shows that 92% of the cases are treated with this, and there is very good result by this. Passive stretching with range of motion exercises remove residual shoulder stiffness. The uninvolved shoulder can be used as a standard comparison to achieve symmetrical range of motion. When patient come to you and the like, for example, the right shoulder is affected, you have to compare with the left shoulder and always ask which is the dominating one. Like somebody is right handed and somebody is left handed, so always compare to the patient body, and then proceed to the next part. Okay, maintain phase. In maintenance phase rehabilitation program in the physical therapy, the maintenance phase concentrate on patient developing increased strength, endurance on the affected side, and what patient want from you, that when he is at home, he is not able to do the daily work, or not able to do the daily activities. If you are proceeding your treatment and your treatment is good and patient is recovering, if patient is doing their daily activities with confidence or without pain, or without any pain or discomfort, then only patient is satisfied from you. Okay, so in maintenance phase, what you have to observe, you always observe that patient doing daily activities with no any discomfort, no any pain, and maintain that phase by exercising by the help of modalities. This phase can begin as soon as patient discomfort is effectively controlled, and should continue for at least 3 weeks after the pain has completely resolved. When performing strengthening exercise, it is safer for the individual to start out with low tension followed by a gradual increase in force because flare ups can occur. Okay, always restricted exercise, always apply resistance one by one or gradually increase the resistance. Never ever give way to the patient, which may be discomfort the patient, which may be painful to the patient, or which may harm the patient muscles, okay, or worse the condition. Always concentrate on this. The patient continuous isotonic isokinetic strengthening and is allow limited participation in, like if you have sports person, limited participation of sports activity. If you have the simple client, you have to convey one message to the patient that he not doing any activity which harm the patient, which can discomfort the patient or which increase the pain level of the patient. Monitor the patient and adjust his activity as progress allow. Very important note: conditioning and proper, like in athletes, throwing techniques are important for certain athletes because improper mechanics may result in tissue fatigue and damage. This all about the treatment part of the bicipital tendinitis or biceps tendon disorder. Next we proceed to to one part, that is slap lesions. In slap lesions, I will take another class on the slap lesion, and I will give you the rehabilitation part according to the type of slap lesions. Okay, in next video we will discuss about the slap lesions. And please friends, if you like my video, please like it, share it and subscribe it. It will give me so much confidence, and I personally very thankful to you or to all of you that you like my channel and you are subscribing my channel. And I reached to the today 58 followers or subscribers, and really I am very happy and thankful to you, all of you. So please encourage me by liking my video, subscribe my video and sharing with the others. I will definitely work on all your ideas which you are giving me on Insta, Facebook. So thank you so much, and really a very happy moment for me when I see my 58 subscribers. Thank you so much.